What is good, Ninja? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another PE news video. Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit of a head-to-head Devil May Cry 5 versus Bayonetta 3. But first, let's talk about Devil May Cry 5 because this game is unannounced at this point. But there is plenty of evidence that Devil May Cry 5 will be revealed sometime this year and probably at E3 2018. So, let's get into this right here, guys. So, the domain name devilmaycry5.com has registered on May 17th by an unknown entity under a domain registrar, according to the domain Who's It record. That domain that's registering it is the same registrar that's used by Capcom for the MonsterHunterWorld.com, Whois, and Resident Evil 7.com, Whois domain names. The domain names DevilMayCry6.com, Whois, and DevilMayCry8.com, Whois, and DevilMayCry9.com, Whois, were also registered under that same registrar. Now, the domain name DevilMayCry7.com, Whois, however, is already registered by a separate entity. The DevilMayCry5.com domain is on a different name server than the rest of the domain, so very interesting to see what's going on there. And the domain name ResidentEvil2.com, Whois, which Capcom has owned since 1997, was also updated on April 22nd. Visiting the domain displays an OK message. So basically what they're trying to say here is that they're trying to tie it all in together, that Capcom is pretty much the ones behind this. Maybe they're trying to switch things up just a little bit by making people not think or somebody else did it. But either way, guys, it looks like Devil May Cry 5 is a go. And I wanted to talk about this because Devil May Cry is one of my favorite franchises. I love Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry 4 and Devil May Cry 3 are some of my favorite games of all time, especially when you start segmenting it into the action or the stylish action genre in the mid 2000s and late 2000s. Devil May Cry was amazing. God of War was amazing. And then Bayonetta came in the very late 2000s to early 2010s and kind of mopped up the floor with both of them, in my opinion. So I wanted to talk about this Devil May Cry versus Bayonetta 3 because there is a very good chance that Bayonetta 3 is going to have a big presence at Nintendo's Direct and also on the show floor. That could be a possibility. But then we also have to think about it, guys. Devil May Cry 5 could also be there as well. So there's an interesting history between these two games. Obviously, the mastermind behind both of these is Hideki Kamiya, and Hideki Kamiya is confirmed to be working on Bayonetta 3. So you've got Hideki Kamiya and all of his, basically his mastermindness, his brilliance when it comes to the action genre, them wanting to push things to new levels versus Devil May Cry 5, which has been a very long time from the last time that Capcom handled the game and didn't pass it off to someone else, because you have to remember the last Devil May Cry, which was DMC Devil May Cry, that was made by Ninja Theory, and necessarily people didn't like that one too much. Now, they did end up fixing it. In my opinion, I felt that the PC version was really good. It had the 60 frames, it had a lot of the linking stuff and the stinger and all the different stuff, but obviously Dante still looked like trash in that version of the game, but I still felt that it was okay. But a lot of hardcore Devil May Cry fans didn't, so this would be going all the way back, and I would think that they would get who worked on Devil May Cry 4 in order to do this one, Devil May Cry 5. So what do you guys think about these two titans going head to head? Devil May Cry is the old school powerhouse when it comes to stylish action. Obviously, Bayonetta has surpassed it at this point because the same person who developed Devil May Cry made Bayonetta. But what do you guys think about Bayonetta 3 versus Devil May Cry 5? Do you think one will be better than the other? Obviously, we haven't seen much of either game. There's just been a domain name for Devil May Cry, and then there's just been a trailer. But we can expect, like, we know that Hideki Kamiya, we know that Platinum Games is going to bring that A game, going to bring that Platinum Studios flair. So do you guys think that Devil May Cry can keep up? What are they going to do to combat it? And is this game going to be vastly different from what we've seen before in previous Devil May Cries? Is it going to go like a God of War route? I mean, I doubt that it would, but then again, I would have never thought that God of War would go in the direction that it went in, because God of War used to be like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry with the super air combos. You can jump up real high, you can do these crazy chaining and linking combos and stuff like that, and now it's completely different. It's like a Dark Souls type of weird action game. I don't know what it's like now, but people do like the way it is now, so that's okay. So really, there's not really much left when it comes to this genre, when it comes to big style games. I'm not talking about people who make like the smaller indie independent games. Yeah, we see action games in that all the time, whether it's 2D stuff like Icy is really good, but we don't really see it like in the big mainline style games just because a lot of developers have given up on this style. Heck, look how long it's taking Capcom in order to make another Devil May Cry that's not influenced somewhat by the Western audience and wanting to have some different style of game with the graphics super good and all that, which they tried to do with DMC Devil May Cry. They tried to make it more westernized, tried to make the graphics Unreal Engine, 30 frames per second on consoles, and yeah, players were not having that, especially when Devil May Cry 4 on the same console, PS3 and 360, was 60 frames per second and had all different styles, and this new Devil May Cry did not have all that. So they weren't having that at all. So I'm thinking that Capcom is going to go back to the drawing board. They're going to take the base of Devil May Cry 4 and say, okay, well, look at what Bayonetta did, look what we can do, and they're just going to kind of build on top of that and just make an amazing game. Because guys, I've told you once, I'll tell you again, I absolutely love Devil May Cry. I don't think it's better than Bayonetta. I don't think it's better than that just because of dodge offset and some of the other stuff that you can do. Weapons in the hands and also on the feet. I just think Bayonetta has that flair, has that pizzazz, has that just it factor to it. But Devil May Cry can come back. I mean, the multiple different styles that you can use, the Devil Trigger, there's a lot of cool stuff that they can expand upon. They can innovate. Maybe you can innovate Devil Trigger in with just normal fighting as well. Maybe it doesn't have to be some type of limit thing that you have where it breaks and then you have to like have it for like a certain amount of time. Maybe it can be intertwined with the actual gameplay and even have certain modes to where you can play Devil Trigger, but let's just say like you're a glass cannon, right? You're a glass cannon to where if you get hit, it takes a lot more damage and you can just fight that way. So kind of they can do things to balance it out. I'm just trying to think of some ideas to where Devil May Cry can kind of push things past 4, because to me, you could still pick up 4 at this point, like no problem at all. Go pick up Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition on the Xbox One, the PS4, or the PC, and you can be like, yo, this game is awesome. It's better than like 95% of games released today when it comes to the action games or when it comes to the third-person style of games. So I'm actually really excited for this, guys. I'm trying to contain it a little bit, especially when it comes to who's gonna win or Devil May Cry versus Bayonetta. Of course, I'll be copping both of them day one, no question asked, but I wonder if this game is gonna launch this year if Devil May Cry 5 does drop. Will it be this year or will it be next year? You know, Capcom, they said that they want to launch 2 major IPs from this fiscal year to next year as well, so Devil May Cry could be one of them. So what do you guys think about this Devil May Cry 5? And just to kind of go on a little bit of a side note before we kind of wrap this one up, guys, I don't think this is going to come to Nintendo Switch. I know some people have been saying like, oh, is it going to come to Switch? I just don't think it is, and I think that it's going to be like at Sony's press conference. There might be an exclusivity deal or maybe something like that, exclusive DLC or just some outright exclusive, maybe. I'm not really sure, but I just don't think this one's going to come to Switch, guys, because Capcom is Capcom. You can never trust them, especially with the Switch coming out later than it is. They're just going to maybe port it later or just maybe not put it at all, because still we haven't heard anything about the Devil May Cry collection, and maybe we won't. We have to wait and see on that one, but Capcom has never been keen on putting Devil May Cry on a Nintendo platform. Even on the Wii U, they could have put Devil May Cry 4 on there, and we never got that. It could have been an easy port from the Xbox 360 to the Wii U for Devil May Cry, and they just said, no, we're good. You know, and the Wii U came out years afterwards, and they're port comms, so that's the reason why I'm not necessarily like, okay, it's going to happen. I know the Wii U is a failure and the Switch is a lot better, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping that we get an announcement for like Devil May Cry 4 and the trilogy, but I wouldn't buy the trilogy because I don't want Devil May Cry 2, so hopefully we can buy it individually. That would be great if I can just like buy Devil May Cry 3, then just get Devil May Cry 4, if they do like a double pack, Devil May Cry 3 and 4. That would be great on the Switch, but I know they're probably not going to do that. But we'd get like a download code for Devil May Cry 4 or something like that. I'm not really sure, but either way, I'm hoping Devil May Cry comes to the Switch in some way, shape, or form, but I don't think Devil May Cry 5, if this does turn out to be real, will end up on the Switch. But that's just my thoughts. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about Devil May Cry 5 versus Bayonetta 3? Who will win if they both show up and they're both in full force? What do you guys think about the games? What can they do to innovate? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this, guys, because I'm a huge stylish action game fan, and these are like the last of the Mohicans here, guys. So we need to have a good discussion, and I cannot wait to support this game if it does turn out to be real and at E3. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Fire Assets across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.